I am absolutely sick to my stomach. The Golden State Warriors winning Game 7 again. This is giving me PTSD from the Sacramento Kings versus Golden State Warriors in the 2023 NBA playoffs where they beat us in Game 7 and Steph Curry had 50. But instead, Steph Curry didn't have no 50 today. Buddy Hield sent the Houston Rockets home to Cancun with a career high in the playoffs. This is the same Buddy Hield, right on cue, will have 3 to 5 bad ass-worthy games, and then come that 6th game, he plays all-world. Right on cue. I don't even know. I didn't even think of that. I don't know. I didn't even imagine that. Steph Curry actually played terrible today until the second half, until like the latter half of the second half. In the fourth quarter, he took over immensely. Like completely took over. He had 22 points, but going into that fourth quarter, though, you wouldn't have think he would have 22 points in the game like that. I mean, the Rockets played very well on Steph Curry for the majority of the game, but Buddy Hield and Jalen Green early on subdued the bad half that Steph Curry was having at the beginning of that game. Okay. There's one player in particular that I do want to focus on because I know social media is going crazy right now with this one player, Jalen Green. Jalen Green is supposed to be the Rockets' young star of the future, right? He goes 3 for 8, shoots 8 shots in the game. Unacceptable. 8 points in this Game 7. Now, I guess it's first Game 7, but at the end of the day, it's still basketball. You can't be the guy and have 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting. Okay? The Rockets are literally missing a go-to guy. They have all-world defense, like the best defense I've seen in the playoffs, but they can't score. They're sitting here relying on Dillon Brooks and Alperen Sengun, with no offense. Alperen Sengun is not necessarily your traditional go-to scorer like a Nikola Jokic can be, okay? Alperen Sengun is pretty limited right now, and that's why I think they are missing that premier scorer. And this brings up my next point, Kat. I know I'm jumping back and forth, but it'll make sense. Kevin Durant is going to be the person that helps this team. I think this is the perfect landing spot for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's only 36 years old. He's not super duper old yet. He has about 2 more years before he becomes grandpa in the NBA. You feel what I'm saying? But I think what they were missing is what Kevin Durant can provide to this team. Kevin Durant can provide what Jalen Green was lacking in this series. Kevin Durant can provide what Fred VanVleet wasn't as consistent with for the majority of the season leading to the playoffs, okay? The Houston Rockets is one of the worst shooting teams in the league. I believe it, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But tonight that proved to be the case. And it was a home game, by the way. Okay, you can't rely on Dillon Brooks as your sometime second option. Like, that just can't. Dillon Brooks, but I need you to be a 3-and-D. That's what he has to be. And let's break down this Kevin Durant going to the Rockets thing. And the reason why I say this is because Kevin Durant has 1 more year in his contract before he becomes an unrestricted free agent. So in the 2026 season, he's making $54 million. He's a UFA the very next season. So in 2026-27, he'll be a UFA. If Kevin Durant goes to the front office and he tells them, say, hey, I'm going to walk after this season, which very well might be the case. So I advise you to trade me to a suitor that fits me best, you know what I'm saying, to have me just end my career the right way. Because what's going to happen is this. If he requests a trade and he says, well, I only want to go to these few teams, like a OKC or a Houston Rockets, and anywhere else, I'm not going to sign with them anyways, so they're going to waste a year. So then it puts the pressure on the front office of the Suns to say, damn, well, we can't get a deal done with any other team because they don't want to rent on Kevin Durant when he's like, you know what, I'll sign for another option or a year option with the OKC or with the Houston Rockets, things of that nature. Then it puts the power back in Kevin Durant's hands, okay? But this is the kicker, though. The Rockets will probably have to trade, unfortunately, a Jalen Green, right? He's going to be, I feel like, forced out after the performance he had in this series. And I think it's unfair, in my personal opinion. He's still young. He just signed his rookie extension, 3-year extension. But Jalen Green is going to be making $33 million as the start of July 1st, which is the start of, like, technically the next season, okay? But he has a poison pill restriction on his contract, which means that essentially if he's traded before July 1st, he will be counted for here. I'll actually read it to you. I have it written down here. So Jalen Green's rookie scale contract, right, is a contract extension, okay? The effect on trades is a team trading the player uses the player's current lower salary, so the Rockets will use the current salary, and the team he's traded to, let's say the Suns, will have to use his extension salary, which would be $33 million. So it'll be, you have to take like the average between the two, and I think that's what the Suns will have to factor into their books, which would be a headache in trading for somebody. That's why you wait till after July 1st. I don't think he'll be traded if he is traded before July 1st anyways. I think they'll wait and seek a deal if he is on the market, which I don't know if they're going to put him on the market. He's still young. He's only 23 years old. You dig what I'm saying? So I think he's still going to be with the team for the foreseeable future because he's still a kid. He has a lot to learn, okay? But this series didn't help at all. But what I'm saying is you're going to have to throw somebody in there because that contract is going to be able to eat up Kevin Durant's $54 million, and then you have to throw in maybe some picks or another player to get to the Suns. Anywho, moving forward, Kevin Durant will definitely help the freaking Houston Rockets, who shot a 6 for 18 for the three-point line today, while the Warriors shot 18. While the Warriors shot 18 for 43 from three. The Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, once again, might I say, played subpar on the offensive end. But he was doing everything else. 10 rebounds, 7 assists. That's a sign of a great player. Anthony Edwards the other night didn't play well on the offensive end, still guarding the best player, still being a threat, still distributing the ball. Like, that's a sign of a star player. When they're not limited, when their offensive game is taken away, but they can impact the game other ways, whether it be defensively. And Steph Curry was actually playing solid defense this whole series, by the way. Everybody try to pick on Stephen Curry, but I'm like, bro, he was holding his ground for the majority of the season. I mean, for the majority of the series. He was not they try to force that mismatch, whether it be like a Dylan Brooks going against Steph, and Steph was there every time. Like, Steph wasn't getting blown by like we've seen some stars getting blown by, okay? You can make that assumption of who I'm talking about if you want to. Anywho, Draymond Green played exceptionally well. Jimmy Butler had a solid game too, 28-7. But it was really Buddy Hield that won the game for them. LeBron James said in his podcast, man, role players can win you and lose you the game. Today, Buddy Hield came in when Steph Curry was struggling in that first half. 22 points in the first half. Without those 22 points, I guarantee the Rockets win this game by 8 to 10 points easily. Without Draymond Green hitting the first, I believe he had like the first 6 to 8 points. The Rockets win this game easily. Okay? It wasn't that the Rockets weren't getting stops. Once again, I'm going to reiterate this. They just couldn't score the ball. They limited the Warriors to one-shot possessions. The Warriors only had 3-0 boards. The Rockets had 14. Couldn't score the ball. Fred VanVleet's supposed to be your championship PG on the team, honestly, man. And today, he took some uncanny jump shots in that game. It looked like they were just out of sorts. There was times where it was literally like a 3-on-1. Sengun is literally trailing, rim running, wide open. He takes a deep three. There's another end of the first half where I believe it was in the third quarter. Amin Thompson's running the floor. He has 2 guys in front of him. Van Vliet's waving his hands, looking at him like, throw me the ball, please. And he takes a contested 3. Amin Thompson does. So it just looked like they were just out of sorts, man. Wasn't the same team offensive that we saw in the past few games. And they actually made more of the free throws today, so free throws wasn't a problem. But the Warriors only shot 9 free throws, by the way. But they shot 43 threes, by the way. So they really weren't in that paint like that. Moving forward, though, good freaking game by Buddy Hield and those guys, man. Hats off to him. Now, this next series versus Minnesota Timberwolves is going to be very interesting between the Warriors and Timberwolves because the Timberwolves don't lack what the Rockets lack, okay? They can play just as solid. I'm not saying they can play as good as defense as the Rockets could because the Rockets lock up. But their offensive side is going to cover like their lack thereof. You're not going to see no freaking Rockets having 89 points in the game with the Minnesota Timberwolves, okay? I'm just going to say that right now. It's going to be the T-Wolves are going to score above 90 each game. The Golden State Warriors aren't unbeatable. The Rockets just proved that. They just didn't have they had a lack of experience. This kind of reminded me, like I said, in 2023 when the Warriors beat us, went on to play the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that was more experienced. The Timberwolves are a little more experienced than the Rockets. You have guys on there that have been there before, and I think it's going to pay dividends in that series. So that's going to be a pretty good series. I think the Timberwolves have a chance of winning that series in 6, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion, they got a lot of size, and their bench depth is pretty good. Their bench depth can match the bench of the Warriors because the Warriors' bench is pretty solid, man. It's just the way the roster's constructed, okay? But yeah, Sengun, bro, I want to say this. Just because you were in a freaking electric chair today, don't let that deter you from this offseason, man. Keep getting in the gym, stay in the lab, man. You play one of the greatest defenders in NBA history in Draymond Green for a whole series, and you held your own. You went 9 for 23 tonight. You were aggressive. Can't knock that. But you might have to add a little to the bag. I've seen this happen before with Domantas Sabonis, where everybody keeps talking about, man, he's so limited. And Domantas is technically still limited, but he's added a jump shot to his resume where he's actually able to knock down 1 or 2 threes a game. Now, we're not saying Alperen Sengun can't shoot at all, but it's like when you're just constantly booty bumping down against someone who can just hold his own, it's not going to work. Booty bump to a spin, hook fade every time. It's just not going to be as efficient right now in your career, in my personal opinion. You're not Nikola Jokic yet. You can get there to that style. I'm not saying like you have to be Be Alperen Sengun, but I'm saying the way you play, it kind of mimics Jokic, but Jokic has been doing it so efficiently, so it just looks a little different. Okay, Steven Adams, man, came in, wasn't a factor today. Was not a factor today, actually, if you think about it, man. He only had 2 boards. They actually did very well by matching some of his minutes with Kevon Looney, who played early with 11 minutes, and then Steven Adams played 25. But early on, they played Kevon Looney to kind of subdue the rebounding woes that they had. It helped a little bit. They played Jonathan Kuminga, which was the wild card. Played terrible. Call spade a spade. Jonathan Kuminga played terrible. Okay? He proved as to why he can't play in this specific series. In next series, I don't think you play Kuminga either. Because when he gets in the game, he just automatically thinks it's my time to shine. And it proved today. He came in the game, got a layup, missed it, got the rebound, missed it again, right? 0 for 2. Came down, shot a 3 in the second half, brick. And then came down, shot a fade, midi. I think Tari Eason palmed the ball. Bro, it was just not his. But also, it's Game 7, though. I was actually surprised they threw him in the fire in a Game 7 like that. So I don't expect him to be a factor in the Timberwolves series either. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be a good one, man. Appreciate you guys for watching the Golden State Warriors do it again. Damn it. Steph Curry is just, bro, he's just that dude, bro, even when he's not scoring, man, because all eyes are on Steph Curry. The reason why Buddy Hield had 22 points, I might add. Oh, my bad. The reason Buddy Hield had 22 points in the first half, Buddy Hield finished with 33 points in the game, by the way. 33. The reason why Buddy Hield had 22 in the first half was because there's 2 people on Steph at all times, where they're blitz and screen. So all Steph was doing was literally hitting the short roll guy, which was pretty much Draymond every time. Draymond's finding either Buddy Hield, or he's finding a Porzingis who's driving and kicking, or finding a Jimmy Butler, or Jimmy Butler setting the screen, he's slipping, finding Buddy Hield. So Buddy Hield was butt naked, and that's what got him going. So that was a very good adjustment on the Warriors' end. And yeah, man, just experience over time weighed down the Houston Rockets. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Houston Rockets, they'll be back. I think Ime Udoka, he just can't get over that hump with the Warriors. He's 0-2 versus the Warriors right now, bro. With the Celtics. He leads the Celtics. They win a chip. Plays the Rockets versus the Warriors. Loses to the Warriors again. I mean, damn, Ime, lock in. Sayonara.